Now, as we've been talking about and laughing about for 24 hours now, ABC Chair Kim Williams has attacked podcaster Joe Rogan after making some uninformed comments at the National Press Club. Have a look.
I think people like Mr. Rogan prey on people's vulnerabilities. They prey on fear, they prey on anxiety, they prey on all of the elements that contribute to uncertainty in society. I personally find it deeply repulsive.
Repulsive. Well, he couldn't just stop there. Kim Williams also had to show how he was so much more superior to anyone who listened to Joe Rogan's podcast. He said he was above it all.
I am not a consumer or enthusiast about Mr. Rogan and his work.
Shocking.
I am not one of the 3 billion, and I'm unlikely to be 3 billion and one anytime soon.
Well, there are two things wrong with Kim Williams' comments. Firstly, he's just plain wrong. Joe Rogan does in-depth, deep dive interviews with some of the most interesting and powerful people in the world. He delves deeply into a subject with literally the world expert in the field. He'll spend 3 hours getting to know the ins and outs of an individual and what they think about every topic under the sun. You can hear directly from the primary source. He interrogates them in a way that mostly in the mainstream media we just don't have the time to do in a 10-minute interview. Joe Rogan spent 3 hours, as you know, interviewing Donald Trump during the election campaign with questions like this.
What was it like when you actually got in? Because nobody really can prepare you for that. When you're running for president, you don't really know what it's going to be like when you actually get into office. You're in there. You have 10,000 appointments you have to make. So you're getting advice from people. And at one point in time, did you have a moment in time where you realized, these are bad choices? Like, some of these people I shouldn't have had in there. There are legitimate concerns about environmental impact, correct? Look about the BP oil spill. There's a lot of things that do happen that are environmentally devastating. And you want to mitigate that as much as possible.
You do. Look.
I mean, just in recent times alone, Joe Rogan has had Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the successful startup investor Mark Andreessen, a US Special Forces veteran, actor Josh Brolin, a world-leading DJ. They're long-form interviews. So when Kim Williams claims that Joe Rogan preys on people's fear, he simply doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't listened. The comments he made are prejudging something he knows nothing about. They are only what he assumes Joe Rogan's podcast is like, and it's nothing of the sort. But my second issue with what Kim Williams said is just how patronising it is, how he thinks he's better than billions of people around the world. He's made no secret of the fact he loves classical music and opera, and clearly he thinks his tastes are more refined than most people's. This arrogance is ill-befitting the chair of Australia's taxpayer-funded broadcaster. It's precisely why people are so fed up with media institutions and politicians. They think they're better than everyone else. Opera is not better than Joe Rogan. It's just not. The ABC should benefit all consumers, not just the opera-loving elite.